welcome back. And we haven't gone away. We're just taking a very quick break so that we can prepare the grounds for this next segment. The topic we're looking at is stemming the violence against women. Just recently, over the last, is it 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, the one that happened in India, the rape of the young girl who's training to become a medical doctor, 23 years old young woman, raped and pretty much killed by implication, and she's lost her life as a result of that. In Nigeria, a lot of people do say that there are instances of very serious abuse of women, but it's swept under the carpet, under this notion that whatever happens in your household, you don't want other people to hear about it, so it goes under the radar, not really reported. To discuss this with us this morning are two eminent women, I must say, and I will start from my extreme left, Dr. Joe Oke-Odumaki, the president of Women Arise. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Eminent woman.
Yeah.
And then, of course, just sitting next to her is Erelu Mojisola Adams, who is the president of Oasis Women Organization.
Thank you very much.
And on my right-hand side here is Haja Abimbola Fawemi, who's the president of Powerful Women of Purpose. Another eminent woman.
I know they're all presidents.
They're all presidents in their own right. Well, before we delve into this conversation this morning, there's a report that I'm told that should help us prepare the grounds in terms of the depth of abuse and violence against women in Nigeria. So we'll take that report very quickly and then we will have the conversation.
And we must warn you, viewers, some of the images are quite graphic, so please.
Yes.
You have seen these photos in the movies or even on the news, or probably heard or read about them. Maybe you even have the scar, or you're still sore with the pain and you wonder why or how it came about. On 24th of June 2011, Titilayo Arowolo, a 28-year-old and a banker, was allegedly stabbed to death by her husband, Akolade, at their residence in Isolo, Lagos. And just a week ago, the Lagos State Police Command said it is ready to prosecute a 26-year-old man who allegedly pushed down his Facebook lover from a multi-story building following a disagreement over sexual favors. Stories like these abound, although the majority do not lead to death of the victims. Research shows that gender-based violence kills and disables as many women between the ages of 15 and 44 as cancer, and its toll on women's health surpasses that of traffic accidents and malaria combined. An overview data of reported cases in gender-based violence generated from 18 states in Nigeria and covering the 6 geopolitical zones of the country in 2010 shows that out of 479 reported cases, there are 21.08% sexual violations, 44.25% physical violations, 18.35% domestic violations, 18.48% harmful traditional practices, and 4.92% economic violation. Generally, the level of violence against Nigerian women in the home remains poorly mapped, but analysts say it is shockingly high. Current laws do not make adequate provision for protection of women. Customary laws have women at disadvantage and make them vulnerable to violence. Several times, members of civil organizations and non-government organizations have sought law targeting violence against women. The House of Representatives Speaker Aminu Tambuwal last December said the House will sponsor bills to fight rape in 2012. Almost a year later, nothing has been done. But while the lawmakers bide their time, women of different ages suffer in silence, and the longer it takes to protect them, the more many of them may lose their lives.
Okay, now we see that, and it's quite graphic, but sorry we have to put that on air so early in the morning, and families are watching, but it prepares the ground for the death and anything you can think of in terms of the violence against women in Nigeria. Let me start with you, Dr. Odumaki. In terms of violence against women, what is it that stops us from being able to bring it to the fore as Nigerians? Because nobody seems to want to talk about it more often than not.
Well, we see that violence against women is on the rise. Education is one of the things that serves as a sort of inhibition. A lot of people are not well informed. They keep silence. They die in silence. Again, you see that a lot do not have access to justice. It's better that we have pro bono cases, because it's very difficult to hire a lawyer. So a lot of people, is it in a poverty-ridden society where it's very difficult to put food on the table, and you find people going for justice. A lot of them prefer not to do that.
How do we say that the violence is on the rise when it's not being reported?
Well, we have some reported cases, although not all are documented. But we know, okay, just within some few days, on January 1st, we all were living witness to what happened in Minna. David Ndako, an express student of Federal University of Technology, Minna, allegedly cut off the head of, after serially raping Rahman. The third day, he severed the head, and while he was about going to throw the thing in the dustbin, he was apprehended. Again, some few days back, I think on the 26th, a man, the lady's name is Mercy, the husband suspected was having an affair with the father, and there was very hot iron while the woman was sleeping around 11 p.m. Took the iron, put it at her back. By the time she woke up, she found the husband ironed her breast and all over her body. She's been hospitalized at Ogba. And then several other ones that have been happening. So apart from the ones that are documented, we have a large chunk not being documented. A lot of people even complain that at times when they run to the police station, the police will tell them to go back home to settle whatever is wrong. And then we also find that, finally, that even within the family lineage, within the home, and even religious teachings, church and the mosque, a lot of people prefer to keep silent, and some of them die in silence.
So, Erelu, when we say that there is something, an air of silence and secrecy about the abuse and violence that women have to tolerate in our society, what do we need to begin to look at in terms of the change of orientation?
Lack of funds. To me, lack of funds. For instance, for any brutalized woman, she needs to legalize her action. As in, she need, how will I put it, a sound lawyer to back her up. Why will you say someone that is being brutalized should pay for her own,
Defense.
Our own defense? Thank you. Not only Ministry of Women Affairs should look on the social aspect of life. They should go into security. They should go into funds. There should be a kind of helping hand to the less privileged ones. Most of these things happen to the less privileged ones. You cannot look a child of a governor. You can't look at the daughter of the governor. You can't just beat her up anyhow. You can't beat a daughter of senator anyhow. You know what will come up with that. So we should look at the fund aspect of it. And our security should be ready to listen. They should give us a listening air, especially to the masses.
You mentioned...
Are you saying that if there was readily available and cheap legal advice,
exactly,
that these women would come forward more often?
Definitely. They will, definitely.